Morning, everyone. Well, we continue to look at the book of Genesis, and just to confuse things completely, the last 2 days we've been looking at chapter 1, which told us there was day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then God rested on the seventh day, on the Sabbath. There's another version of creation, and it's in chapter 2. It's interesting, it's a different version because this one actually has got a man being created first, and then man has a say over the naming of animals and all those different things that happen. And then we have the story of the Garden of Eden and things going wrong in that plan. Just a bit in terms of the biblical background of it. We know that Genesis 1 was written by a different author to Genesis 2. One of the big clues for us is that obviously the sequence is different, but also that the way in which God is described. In Genesis 1, he is God. In Genesis 2, he is Yahweh, or Lord God. So there are two different versions of the creation. That's not to take away anything about whether they are right or wrong, because remember what I said to you yesterday, it's the number is intended to be symbolic. The story is brought to us to show us the truth, but it's brought to us in a way in which people of the time could understand. Could you imagine them sort of saying, yeah, well, this evolution thing, we're just going to explain it to you a little bit. And people of those times, remember, thought the earth was flat. To try and present them with some of those arguments would have been a bit tricky. But we are brought into the situation of Adam and Eve. And it was through man, not through God, it was through the decision of man that evil came into the world. Humans decided to do something against the will of God. And that's evil. We do things to go against God's will. So when we look at whose responsibility it is that there's evil in the world, it's not God's responsibility. God didn't bring it here. God gave us everything. Remember, in Genesis 1, it said God, it was good. And when God looked at man, he said it was very good. And then man messed it up. So it was the work of humans. Right, you say, okay, well, the serpent, the devil, and so forth, brought temptation and so forth. That always existed. Temptation even existed in the time of Christ. Christ resisted it. And even when we sometimes fall into temptation, when we succumb to it, there are ways that we can get out of it. Because we're human and we're rational and we can do those things. But it's always important that we choose the right thing between right and wrong, between God and things that are not God. You have a wonderful day and keep safe. We'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.